Hi all. So I don't normally make these videos. This is the first one I'm probably going to do. Hopefully it won't be the last, but don't expect it to be scripted and full of every minor detail. But I'll go over everything I think that someone like myself would need. And I say that because it took a long time to actually understand how this works, as someone with no real honest car knowledge besides the basics, car park talk stuff. So this is for the Saab 9.3, 2003 to 2006, 7, depending on where you are in the world. Basically, in short, it's the pre-facelift. Okay, you don't necessarily need that ICM3, but it's for the pre-facelift. So I'll put a marker for when the instructions actually start, but just to give a bit of kind of overlay about how this really works. So effectively, this car has the premium sound system. So the premium 150 7 speaker, that's the same thing. So 7 speakers, one here, one here, one here in the middle. In the door, 2 more. And in the boot, there's 2 more. So it's run with a fiber optic system, as we know, and the audio comes down to the fiber optics, and there is an amp underneath the seat. So for this video, I would imagine that you've kind of familiar enough with that. I'll be supplying the diagram in this video so you can see what that looks like. So effectively what we have here is we've got the ICM, which is basically the unit that creates the red light within the fiber optic system, sends a signal down through here, down to the A pillar, down here into the amp under the seat. And to complete the loop, the amp responds back via the second cable back up into the ICM. If that is ever broken, the infotainment system will not turn on. The lights around it will, to show the unit is active, it's working, but it's not getting a response back. So, effectively this car has a 7 speaker system. Now initially when I started this job, I didn't have any door speaker sound coming out, so I thought, right, this must be the dreaded 4 speaker. That's to say 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Thankfully it's not. It was a 7 speaker. The reason why that's important is because in this car you actually have the power and fiber optic system running into the boot. It's actually already there, spare. Now I might be able to add in some clips and videos I took of doing this install, because at the moment this 13 speaker system, I have installed it already. But I'm going to run through how to do it, because to be honest, if someone like myself can do it, then you definitely can. It's pretty straightforward. But the key thing that was missing the whole time of all the forums, Saab Central, all the forums, the one key thing that was missing was how the fiber optic system actually works and what's actually here. So that's what I'm going to cover now. I'm going to take away the trim. There's plenty of videos online how to do it, but it's pretty straightforward. I've just got some pry tools here. Lift up this. I'm going to take away this as well. And I'm not going to take the seat out, but I do have a spare car next to me that I took the system out of that will show you what it looks like. So it's identical, but I won't be taking out this car. All right. But I am going to take off my car here because I want to show you how the fiber optic system is currently routed and then what it should look like. So we'll jump cut to when this stuff is off. Okay, so welcome back to the trim bin taken off. Enough for us to get in here. I'm taking off this side panel so we can see. So effectively the fiber optic system is the orange. Okay, that's your fiber optic loop. So your 7 speaker system, right, has, so there we are. Okay, so 7 speaker system has 2 coming down, 2 coming out. All right, there's a reason why this junction box is here, because it allows us to do what we want to do now in a moment. So at the moment, for your 7 speaker, it's going to come down here, pass through, run down here, and it's going to go into the, move the seat slightly, it'll help. I will get a video to show this case is better. Basically it's going into your amp 1, down here, under the seat. It's going in, and then the signal has been looped around, back out, back up here again, up through the second one, back up here into your ICM3. That's your current loop. But obviously that's no good because we want to get to the back of the car. So Saab have kindly added in a spare cable. spare fiber optic. This guy is actually running all the way down past the amp, right down into the boot. And I'll show you where it's going. You'll see when you open up the cover from here, it's going to look slightly different because I have the 13 speaker already installed, but you'll basically see them taped up like this. Okay, so it's going all the way from the front down here. Now you might be wondering, hang on a second, there's two. Why is there one leaving the front and now there's two here? Well, obviously this is the incoming channel, and the return channel, you need to send it back from the boot. So this is where it gets interesting. This is where the missing loop online I found ages trying to get to the bottom of. That actually has been sent all the way back here, and it's actually taped down here. So in the same way this is spare, there's actually another spare one here, which I'm now going to show you on the donor car that I've just taken the speaker system out. So welcome back to the donor car. Disgusting, yes, but that typically is how you find them when you take the seats out. This is going to scrap this car, so this is why it's horrible looking. So basically this is the loop from here, okay? But obviously we need to find the loop that's coming from here. It's actually under the carpet. So what you need to do is you need to push this connector to make this easier. You need to push both connectors back over the carpet, which I'll do now. So you need to kind of lift the carpet up and pull them out. And what you'll find on your car, around here, okay, around this spot here, you'll see a third fiber optic. Okay, now I've taken it out here so you won't see it, but it's going to be here. And effectively it's going to have the little blue tab over it to signify it's not being used. And all you're going to do is pull that tab off, and you're going to rewire it to the input. So on these tabs, on the amp, on the back amp, you'll see in and out. Okay, so obviously the signal going in is in, the signal going out is out. So in this case, as it was currently set up, the signal coming into this is coming from here. But we don't want that, because actually the signal we're trying to pick up is coming from the boot. Because again, to remind you, the signal has been diverted from here already. So instead of going here, the signal now has been sent all the way back down to the boot, into the amp 2, and amp 2 is sending the signal back up here. So the input here is now going to be the spare cable that you've just located. So you're going to swap them around and pop them in here. And then the response from the amp 2 back up is untouched, because that's going to remain the same going up here. Okay, so that's how it works. So instead of sending the signal down into amp 1, then amp 2 and back up, it's the other way around. You're sending it all the way down first, then amp 2 back up to amp 1, back up here. So let's go back to the new car. Okay, actually before we go to the new car, just show how it works. So again, as I said, you'll see a third one that'll be taped up here, the one that you're looking to divert. So you're obviously going to have to pull that out, take off the tape that's wrapped around it. So now you should have three of these here. 2 currently plugged in, and your spare one is going to go to the back. Well, how do you take these out? This is the clip that's in, and all you got to do is get a flathead to pull that back. That clamps down. So you're pulling it back, pulling the silver piece back. You can do it in both ends, don't worry. These are well stuck in. And when it's pulled back, what I found easy to do is actually just to pull them both down, because they've got a jacket on them. Pull them both down pretty hard. Don't worry, you're not going to break it. And what you're effectively then doing is you're basically taking this one on the right. Typically it's on the right, but you'll need to make sure, and I'll show you how to do this. You'll unplug them and then put one of them back in. Normally it's the left one, and the one heading down the channel up in here. And how you'll know for sure it works is when you turn the ignition back on, you'll see on this side that these will be blank. There should be no red light coming out. Instead, the red light is now going to shine out of one of these. So now you know you've routed it correctly, because the signal has now been sent to the back of the car from the ICM. All right, so let's take a look at the amp system. So again, with your amp, and I have mine wired up, so it's unfortunate I can't show you exactly, but just take your time. You'll understand this. It's pretty simple. this will go into amp 1, into the connection, and this now will be your return wire back to amp 1. And again, when you pop them in, make sure you've got the in and out correct. And when that's done, all you have to do then is come back to amp 1 and check that the red light now shows out of one of these cables. And when the red light's showing, it means that's your input, because the red is going in to be diverted back up here. Obviously you'll know for sure when it's done because the ICM unit will light up. If you have a Tech 2, what you're going to need, you can do an O-bus connection and check that there's no issues, O-bus is running correctly. Okay, honestly that is pretty much it for that. The one thing you are going to realize though is you're going to need to have ideally the entire wiring loom from the back, and I'll explain why you're going to need that. You'll also find your car, you can forget this probably won't be there unless you've got the navigation. That's the navigation box. Ideally that's our scope of this, because that takes a lot more work. You need to, that won't be in your wiring loom unless you already have it. So that's definitely not going to be there. This is definitely going to be here. This is your power. Okay, so basically you would have a connection that goes together on the amp, and they'll plug in together into the amp. And honestly, this is it. Like this will, there's no other setup needed. Okay, you are going to make sure to ground it either to here or here, your bolts. And honestly, once that's done, the Tech 2 kind of took care of everything. You will need Tech 2 with security access. And effectively, into the control module, add remove, add prestige. It's called prestige in the Tech 2. Now you can do manually by re-adding the ICM and the EHU. Obviously you can do it that way, but to be honest, Tech 2 adding the accessory prestige in. Speaking of EHU, contrary to belief, you do not need to replace the EHU, which lives in here. It's in there. You don't need to replace it. Okay, Tech 2 will take care of it. There is different part numbers, but in this case for the 7-speaker system to Prestige 13, you do not need to replace EHU. It's not in the work manual either, so even Saab didn't think you need to do it. So honestly, that's pretty much it. I will try and maybe upload a different video showcasing it when I have time, the full run through. But to get you started, the only key thing that I was missing to make this work is how that fiber optic system loop all the way to the end first, into amp 2, amp 2 back to amp 1, amp 1 back up the A pillar, and the cabling is already there. You just need to peel off the tape and put it on. The upgrade is definitely worth it. The kickoff 6x9s is not bad at all. I'm probably going to upgrade the speakers though, just to get the cleaner sound, because at this stage they're 16 years old speakers and not great. Yeah, that's it. Any questions, you can obviously leave a comment. I'll keep an eye on the video. But as I say, for someone who does not have much technical or electrical knowledge, I actually got this done in a weekend between this car and that car.